Is the Goldenmate Orion 1000 the LifePo4 battery for you? That's not a simple yes or no question. There are a lot of factors you always need to take into account when you make a decision like this. Hey everyone, I'm Bob, amateur radio call sign Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Mike Golf. This video today is sponsored by G Gable Radio and by Goldenmate, who provided me with this battery for my use, review, and testing, and so that I can share it with you. Let's cut to the chase. I'll give you my opinion so you can decide if you want to watch the rest of this video. I've seen many reviews using this as a trolling motor in boating. I've seen it used in RV, so outdoor activities. I've only seen one amateur operator do reviews on Goldenmate batteries. That's Dave Kassler. Most of us in amateur radio know who he is. He was reviewing a smaller size battery from Goldenmate and he gave it a thumbs up. I'll give this a thumbs up, but just understand what that means from my perspective. This battery, hands down, is a looker. By that I simply mean it's just pleasant to the eyes. It's a very attractive looking battery. Is that a reason to purchase a LifePo4 battery? No, it's all about performance and size. This is a Group 31 battery, meaning it has a certain size requirement. That's what you should expect if you're considering a battery like this. I think one of its greatest features is its onboard display that tells you a lot about the output and input. Right now, I'm at 5% because I've completely drained this after using one of my tests. When I say completely, that was a couple of weeks ago. It appears to have recovered just a bit since that time that I completed my testing. So why do I call this a looker, and why would I even take that into account? Well, if you're one of those individuals, say in your ham shack, where you're looking for something that not only gets the job done, but you like your gear to be appealing and impressive in how it looks, this is certainly that. Goldenmate has gone out of their way to make something that is appealing to the eye as well as capable and functional to power the gear that you need to turn on and keep running for an extended period of time, because this battery goes far beyond its rated capacity. In addition to looking on the Goldenmate website, the Amazon store, you can also get the basic specifications on a product label here on the side of the battery. Goldenmate chose to injection mold this two-piece case out of ABS plastic. ABS plastic is known for its durability, its impact resistance. Long-term exposure to UV could deteriorate ABS, so if I were leaving this outdoors for months at a time, I would put it in a battery case. For a day or two on field day, wouldn't worry about it at all. I would want access to this panel to tell me what my input, output, and remaining power is. And there's also an app that I'll show you that lets you maintain awareness of the status of the battery. Batteries like this are shipped partially charged. Mine arrived at 81%, 13.3 volts. I'm going to top it off, get it fully charged before my capacity test. One of the best features of the Orion 1000 is not only its top screen that gives you all the information you need, it's the ability to interface with our smartphone. With the QR code, you can download an application, and I wanted to do this before I started charging so that I could confirm on my smartphone that I was getting a similar reading on the capacity percentage and the voltage as I was charging, and that it matched up with my multimeter. So again, this is a strength of the Orion 1000. If having the ability to monitor your battery's status is important to you. The battery has rested for about 48 hours after fully charging it. Here you can see we're at 100%. That gap took place only because that's how long it took me to get back to the test. And here we are connecting this to our CBA5. We're going to discharge at 10 amps, which means we're going to have about a 10-hour-long capacity test. Do you want to watch that full test with me? I didn't think so. I don't watch it either. It's in a room with me the entire time that I'm performing the test, and we're seeing exactly what we expect to see with a LifePo4 battery. Again, one of the greatest features about this is its user interface, and you can see that while we're currently at 100%, as we start discharge, we're discharging at about 133 watts while we're doing this capacity test. I came back towards the end of the test and turned on the screen once again, and you can see we're at 13%. You can see off to the right. I also have the phone app going where not only do I see its current charge status, but also a number of other parameters that are relevant as you're monitoring your battery's performance. This battery did perform as a typical LifePo4 battery. Here we are at the end of the test where it just jumps off the cliff, and it has satisfied us for its capacity. It came in at 105 amp hours to a rated 100. It's a pass. Apologies for the steep angle on my over-the-shoulder cam looking down at the equipment, and my studio lights are shining right into the camera. It's the best I can do to try to give you a picture of what's happening here in front of us. So I've got my Goldenmate fully charged. I've got my solar generator. I can hear it in the comments now. That's not generating solar. Well, gas generators don't generate gas either. It's how we commonly refer to these when we're using them with solar panels. So what do you do if you have your solar generator in your home, but you forgot to have it completely charged, or it's been sitting in a closet, but you do have your 100 amp hour Goldenmate battery with you in the home and it is charged up and ready to go? Well, all you need to do is grab the appropriate cabling and connect the two. This cord here going into my solar generator is connected to the solar port. It doesn't know this is not a solar panel. It just sees power coming in and it automatically will turn on and begin charging. So what you need to realize is that while this can run all DC equipment directly, if it works with 12 volts, while this can be used with an inverter, if you already have a solar generator in your home, your Goldenmate Orion 1000 operates like it's a solar panel. So let's say that you deplete your solar generator throughout the day, you don't have sun at night, you're not getting any solar from the sun. Take your battery, hook it up to the solar port on your solar generator, and you can keep cooking or whatever else you're doing with your solar generator, providing entertainment through the night while you're waiting for the power to come back on again. As an amateur radio operator interested in emergency preparedness, of course, I think of the Orion 1000 as an emergency battery backup. I can have it here in the shack, run my IC7300 direct from DC. I can hook this up to an inverter and run other essential gear in the shack or in my home. But if I'm using this with a radio portable, this is a QRP radio, not technically QRP because it'll go up to 20 watts. What actually happens with our battery when we key up on this radio? Let's see what the draw is. When we power on, there's not even registering a draw on the battery. Let's see what our power is. We're at 20 watts. We're on 10 meters. Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use? KD4 BMG. You can see on 20 watts, the maximum, what did we pull? 23 watts here out of our battery. So this battery with a QRP style radio, this is going to last you forever out in the field. 20 watts is a pretty substantive amount of power in emergency communication. Okay, 100 watts better, 1,000 watts better yet, but many people get by with 20 watts, no problem, and that's all they operate with. Some people operate true QRP 5 watts and down. With a 20 watt radio, the draw on this Orion 1000, you've got communication for much longer than a POTA activation, maybe a POTA rove for a week, who knows. Either way, lots of capacity here, and you have the ability to constantly monitor your power situation, where you stand for percentage of capacity, and any output that you have. If you've got a solar panel, of course, take that with you. Keep it charged indefinitely. So, fantastic for emergency comms. Where LifePo4 batteries are appropriate, the appropriate application, we've come to expect much better performance in comparison to lead acid batteries. That has to do with durability, longevity, size, and weight. When it comes to the Goldenmate, if you use it with an inverter, you get a great deal of runtime on appliances that take electricity. DC, you can run direct from the battery. If you're trying to run your television, refrigerator, etc., you're going to need an inverter to convert over to alternating current. We've come to expect a very long life cycle out of our LifePo4 batteries, and Goldenmate is touting a 10-year service life. When it comes to construction, I'm not going to do a teardown of this battery. I've watched other teardown videos on YouTube. I'll leave links in the description below to two that I've watched and come to rely on their expertise in this. The teardown on this is very straightforward. It is a very well-built battery. Like other LifePo4 batteries, we can connect them in series or parallel, follow the instructions that come with the manufacturer. The Orion 1000 states an IP67 waterproof rating. There's no way I would ever submerge it in 3 feet of water for 30 minutes, and I'm telling you, don't do that. If this gets a couple of drops of rain on it, not a problem. It's a sealed up unit. The LCD display and this Bluetooth app, this is really where this battery shines. This screen is gorgeous looking, and it provides you all the information you need to know to monitor your battery if you're just charging, if you're just discharging, or if you're doing a charge and discharge at the same time. My final thoughts on the Goldenmate Orion 1000. It gets my stamp of approval. I think this is an excellent LifePo4 battery, 100 amp hour. Think about size, weight, cost, application, and if you need that information feedback from that screen, this is absolutely one of its best features. I hope you found this information useful. I'll talk to you soon, friends. 73.